Man, oh man, I know this has been in the works for a little bit, man. Uh,
Yeah.
Constantly, first things first. You guys probably didn't see the clip because I didn't post it, but I didn't even record it when we were the first time supposed to do this interview. Let me just explain this. There's a band with the same name, different part of the country, completely different style of music as this band right here. So the first thing I did, because I didn't ask the person which Nowhere Fast band is this, because I didn't think that it was this other one and not the one that we are going to talk about here. But they're a pop punk band from Portland. But here we have a rock punk DIY mash of people that have known each other for years and come together to form, like, I'm gonna say, this independent super group of talent from all neck of the woods of music. I mean, honestly, we have Seth here, who is the lead singer, the mastermind of this whole thing. I hope. I don't know the whole story, but we're gonna find out more about Nowhere Fast from Lexington, Kentucky, right now with Seth right next to me. Seth, good evening, good afternoon. How's everything going?
Hello. It's going. The name mix-up was funny. It's the bane of our existence. That's for sure.
Well, I think I think it's a problem with music right now. There's so many
A
bands,
total
so
problem.
many names to choose from, and then when somebody picks it from one part of the country and their music doesn't get played in that part of the country, and you don't know about this other band from the other part of the country, then you're kind of fucked. Like, okay, oh, there's shit, there's just, but it's not even the same genre of music. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the good thing. I mean, it's like it sets you guys apart, and so Seth, how did you guys all meet? And like I said, it was a DIY mashup of people that have toured together in other bands or in bands together. How did this band come together? For anyone who does not know about Nowhere Fast.
Um, I've personally been at it a long time, and all the guys have been at it a long time. This lineup, uh, JB came in, Jim Bob, our keyboard player, he came in on our last record, and we had a different rhythm section, but pandemic hit, things get weird, people, do stuff, and Rob had moved back to Louisville from Albuquerque, and I didn't know him before he moved, but he's from the DIY scene and played in a bunch of bands. He's originally from Rochester,
Mm-hmm.
so a whole slew of rad bands up that way. And then Rafa has been here almost 5 years. Came over here from Brazil, and seeing him around, he was touring with the Hollers, Quiet Hollers, for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and he has some other bands. But we just asked him to sit in, and um, I don't know. It was like one of those moments where you're like, yeah, we all just kind of fell in love, especially when Rafa sat down with us when the three of us had known each other. And Rafa and Jim Bob had played in the Quiet Hollers together, so
Okay.
they had something. But when the drummer looks up and goes, I don't have the kick drum pattern right on this song I learned, but like I'll get it. It's like, and we just played through it. It was fine. The crowd wouldn't have noticed. But you saying that, it's like instant love.
Nice.
You're like, oh, you.
And it all works out. It all works out. I mean, you guys are gearing up for some shows. The album came out last year, late last year, and we're gonna be talking about the album which I have right here in front of me, which is Modern Archaic. As you can see on the page now, that's not showing us, but it's showing the Spotify page, where you guys can listen to as well. It's 9 songs, 35 minutes and 53 seconds of pure magic for you guys to pick at and talk about. But yeah, um, so like Seth, being that you're the lead singer of the band and you're the mastermind, uh, I want to ask you this: like, where do you draw your influence when you're writing these songs? I mean, you guys have a couple city names in some of the songs off of Modern Archaic, um, but where do you? I mean, being that you've been at this for a while, I mean, honestly, I'm a seasoned vet. I'm going to be 40 at the end of the month. I haven't been on the
Yeah.
road that much. I never was a musician. But traveling to shows, from going an hour and a half one way and then an hour and a half the next way, it's kind of being not in the same picture you guys as band members, but as as fan of the music, traveling to shows back when I was in PA. but now being more accessible to shows at at venues like the Virgin Hotel with the theater there, or 24 Oxford, or even Brooklyn Bowl and the Strip for that matter. Um, what Yeah, go ahead and talk about the song. Sorry, the story stalled there.
No, you're fine.
My fault. Go
You're
ahead.
fine. I mean, I bring in songs, but like all four of us have a part, and I don't bring in a song and go, it is this way. It has to be this way. We all have the input, and like sometimes Jim Bob or Rob or Rafa, they'll write like a hook for the pre, or they'll be like, what if we swung it this way, you know? But when I draw from writing, that is very schizophrenic because I love anything from indie to Americana to old country to punk rock. Grew up on like I love anything from Face to Face
Okay.
to the new Deep Sea Diver that came out. Like I'm absolutely in love with it.
I will have to listen. I think I
Isbel,
heard them
Heartbreakers.
briefly. I think I heard Deep Sea Diver. I know I listened to a lot. I mean, but I will have to go check the Deep Sea Diver out. I think I've heard of them before, and I don't can't pinpoint the song in my head right now, but I think I know. Had them either pop up with a mix on my Spotify or through other bands or whatever, or seeing that they've been through town or wherever they've been on tour announcements, for that matter. But like you said, you're in Lexington, Kentucky, so you guys have kind of a suburb, that you guys can go out to. You can go to Nashville, or you can go to Louisville, and
Well, we're actually from Louisville.
Louisville. Okay, all right,
Yeah,
Louisville. Sorry,
we are in Lexington quite a bit. We have a
yeah.
bunch of homies down there.
Sorry about
That's for
that.
sure.
Sorry, I said
Oh,
Lexington,
you're
Kentucky, but you
oh, you're
guys
fine.
do.
Like Lexington.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys do a lot of, inner city wars there, with Lexington being Wildcat country, and Louisville being the Cardinals. NCAA basketball. It's March Madness, baby. Come on now. We're not
Roll
here.
Tide.
I love fucking March. It's my birthday. You get basketball. You get WrestleMania the next month.
Oh yeah,
You
it's all
know,
there.
it's all
Here.
it's all here in this like 2 months. You get Easter as well. So yeah, so that's gonna be great. But so with that being said, the album came out last year. What is the plan for the rest of the year now? Is it a summer tour? Is it gonna be just doing the Midwest, going up to maybe Chicago, maybe going down to South by Southwest is going on right now, I believe. Maybe going out there to Austin after that whole mess goes down. Going out that way, or what is the plan for the summer?
We will be doing a lot of regional stuff in cities, but we'll be announcing a tour late this summer,
There you guys go.
and some runs into fall too. So,
Well,
yeah, we're gonna try and hit what we can. West Coast is tough,
yeah.
but we're gonna. I'm figuring that out.
But you know what? It
Figuring that
doesn't
out.
matter. It'll happen one day. One day we'll meet. One day we'll hang out at the bar while you guys
Oh,
are playing.
I can't wait to get back out west.
Get out to Vegas,
Love it out
win
there,
some
dude.
money on the slots. But without further ado, let's get to some of the music. Let's get to one of the songs off the album. You get to pick there, Seth. Which one do you want to get to?
Oh man, we can get to a band that our personal favorite together would be Ritual.
Okay.
We all love that song.
We love Ritual, so we're gonna get to it right now. That is the second track on the record, which is Modern Archaic, and it is available now wherever your listening ears are told. And it did come out like late last year. I said late last year, which is November, because there's only 1 month after that. So guys, it's only been out for 5 months, or would you say 6? 5 months?
That's November 1st,
Yeah, so
so
5 months. Yes, 5 months. Or 4. I mean, yeah,
it's
whatever.
almost 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost 5. But let's do it right now. Here's Ritual by the boys and Nowhere Fast. And here we go. Enjoy.
Who
And right there, it was Ritual by our boys in Nowhere Fast. And we are back with Seth. Seth, man, that has such a vibe to it that it has that Miami Vice kind of vibe with the I'm not like I'm just saying like
No, no, I get it. I get it. Like,
I'm not like
it's
it's
me
not a
just
bad
trying to
thing.
channel Johnny Marr.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, I hope. I'm throwing out references. People are like, Miami Vice. Yeah, it was a show. And it was a show. It was brought back by Scott
Yeah,
Kahn.
they did a remake.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see it.
But yeah, I did not either. But I'm just saying, like, it was on TV. And the movies, Colin Farrell was in it, I believe. So, so with that being said, though, where did that like where was that song out of? Was that was were the first songs that you guys wrote for this record, or was this one of the last ones that came together? Because I know you said it's like the band favorite. So what like why is it the favorite? Why is it the favorite for you? The whole why is the for you personally?
For me personally, I'm a big fan of like guitar. Like one of my favorite guitarists is Johnny Marr,
Mm-hmm.
as he is of many. Um, but you listen to some of those '80s bands and like the post-punk and the new wave, and you're like, man, this guitars sound pretty sick.
Yeah.
So I just I literally demoed that song out in like probably 48 hours at my house on 2 late nights, and I just programmed a simple drum beat and had an idea and just kind of laid it down.
And it worked.
And then the band just did their thing to it. I really think, and I laid it down without bass. So when Rob put bass to it, I was like, damn, all right, you nailed it.
See, see, that's the kicker. That's the kicker. You didn't have to have bass right away. And you're like, hey, Rob, take what we have here and make it something of it, and it's created. It came together.
Yeah.
So like where do we go next? Like where in 2025? I mean, honestly, I know we talked about it off air a little bit, but I mean, I'm gonna bring that up. Like,
Hmm.
like what is the next step for you guys to like? I mean, you're doing regional shows, like we said, but what is one thing you want to do this year that you may have not done as a group of guys in a band? I mean, honestly, you've been in this industry for a while now, so you've done a lot in other projects. But with this project, what would be the where we're at now point and where we can go now this year point?
I think we're gonna just try and get back to playing shows for right now. We'd like to do some longer stretches in the future if possible. And then we're gonna try and maintain our online presence a little better and not be such lazy older dudes about it. Um,
It
'Cause it
happens.
is part
I
of
mean,
the
I'm lazy
takes up a
too.
lot of time, man.
I'm lazy too. I try to do as much as I can, and then I have other priorities in my life that take control, and I just don't have time.
Yeah, it's to
Like,
be all dude. And when we're together, we would just like to play. That's all we want to do. We want to play and play. Like we're always writing. Like that's one thing we did set out to do this year is like we just want to keep writing in between things. We want to take some time off to focus on writing here and there.
mhm.
Uh, we love the groove and we love what we're doing. And the more you play and the more you write together, the stronger that connection is.
For you, like where are we headed? Where are we headed? What direction maybe into the lyrical sense that you might want to write about this time? I know you don't. I mean, honestly, songwriters don't set out like, oh, I want to write about this. It just
Oh,
comes to
yeah.
you. But like, what is some events maybe we'll see from your point of view as a singer, songwriter, musician? Are we gonna see maybe in the next steps of songs?
I on modern, it's fun because like playing a lot of those songs right now off that record, I introduced a character name on that record. I write from real experiences and try and embellish like into like a story like thing. I might develop more characters and try and be a little bit more thematic about it, I think, instead of so not to take the poetry out of it, but to take just to develop a better story.
But
You
you
know,
know,
I like Coheed.
yeah, you're going to say Coheed. Sorry. You know, I love
Yeah,
Coheed too. I mean, honestly, I like those steps that you want to take there, and I thought it was telling the story as well. I was like, what is going on in this album? Um, so that's awesome that you want to take it and make it into a story. I mean, honestly, comics cost a lot to get made, but hey, you could probably do it visually via music videos or whatever. I mean, honestly, or little like animated shorts that you put together with a friend that's an artist in Louisville or
yeah,
Lexington or a college student as a project can work on your like that would be cool, right? Don't you think?
yeah,
That would I mean
yeah.
you're
I think
in
it'd be
the
great.
city, you're in
We
Louisville. Hey guys,
we've
at
actually.
Louisville in the future, look out for a project with these boys. That's as a graphic designer or an artist that's in Louisville, get at these guys. Like
Oh yeah, we're excited to get one of these videos that's coming out. We're real excited, actually.
I figured.
Um,
I mean, I'm like, I know they're cooking on stuff. They have to be. I mean,
oh, if we were rich, we would have
if we were
made an
all
entire
rich,
movie for
if we
this.
were all rich, we could just retire and say, hey, you know what? The world can be taken in better
Oh,
hands
I'll
in
tell you, like
25
budget
years.
wise, we would have made a mini film for the whole entire record for this one, I think. Yeah, we would have done 30. What is it? What's the record? 35
Yeah,
minutes or 30
35
something
minutes.
minutes? We would have made a 30 something minute movie is what we would have
Hey,
done. We would have done a
I
short
think
film.
take it to Sundance, take it to the film festivals, and boom, you got something. You don't sound like Coheed, but you do the Coheed concept. You're sold. I mean, honestly, they need to have more bands like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There need to be more bands that do that. I mean, they are, but like Coheed does it on Coheed level. Claudia and Josh and the
Well, yeah, and I
boys.
think like a different level for me too, which I really love, is like if you listen to some Tom Petty, like the Heartbreakers
Yeah,
songs when Tom Petty's telling us, or an Isbell song. Like I swear, like when those
or
sometimes
Dylan.
when I hear those songs, like I see the movie rolling in my head,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, this is amazing. Like this is just genius writing,
yeah.
you know. And sometimes it gets to be just a song, and I'm like, I can make a movie out of just this song. Just this one song, but now you got an album of songs, and I'm like, I want to write an album of
Bands have
songs.
done that in the '90s already with music videos that are basically movies. I mean, look at just to be funny, and I don't mean to say funny, but it's true. It's a story. I mean, Aqua, Barbie Girl was a story.
Yes.
That was in one song. I mean, honestly, you saw the music video. It tells you a story. I'm sorry, I just thought of that one as. I mean,
Fine.
honestly, any Coheed video is
What-
a fucking
Do you remember
story.
like when concept records were a thing?
Yeah,
Like Green Day. Well, I mean, they were a thing with like the Who and bands like that back
but
then. But then
in
our
era,
era,
yeah. Green
Green Day
Day,
brought that back,
Green
and then
Day. Shit.
everybody followed behind was doing a concept record after
I
that.
can't, I can't,
It
I
was.
can't think of the name, but it was a concept.
I
It
know
was
Funeral for a Friend did
yeah,
one.
Funeral
They
for a
did a.
Friend. I'm thinking of the band that was on Fueled by Ramen.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't think of the band name right now. I interviewed him about years ago about that record. That was a story.
blanking. I
Um,
think I know what you're talking about.
anyone in the chat know? Anyone in the chats remember that band that was on Fueled by Ramen? Uh, Sorry, Fueled by Ramen. I forget. I haven't worked with you guys in years. Um, can't even think about it right now. We'll think about it later, and I'll be like, holy shit, that was that band. Um,
Well, like Paramore was on that
yeah.
label, and
Let me. Where's my phone?
uh, so many bands got a start on the label back
Oh,
then.
let me look it up right now. Hold on, I got it right now. I'm gonna put it on my phone and look. I know fucking I want to go. It's on the tip of my
It's like so
tongue.
we don't.
Let me go to Wikipedia. It is artist signed a few. It
Oh
was
yeah, Wikipedia's like
yeah
here's
Wikipedia.
everything.
It was not Dashboard. It was it? No, it wasn't Dashboard. Um,
I'm trying to
Inactive
think
Artist.
on
I
that.
think it was Inactive Artist. It was one of the inactive. Forgive Durden. Forgive Durden. Did
Okay.
they did that Rosie's Shadow, a musical with the help of Gatsby's American Dream. Remember that record? And Volcano. Volcano was kind of a as a
I do
musical.
now.
Gatsby's American Dream was a great band, underrated, ahead of their time, I think, for that genre and that era of 2000.
A lot of bands have been, I feel like if you're carrying the torch, if you're the starter of a trend, you usually don't get the respect ever.
I
And
mean,
I've
look at the
said it
matches
many
too.
times before.
The
Hmm?
matches as well. The matches, another
Yeah.
band, kind of artsy. That was never. It was like artsy punk, kind of. If you want to say that, I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm right. I don't want
Yeah.
to. I hate. I love those guys.
I liked when the term indie punk was being used because I'm like, all right, we can kind of fit that bill
Yeah.
because you can slide either way. You could slide a little into Americana, you could slide into the punk, you could be like in the middle. I remember I mentioned this before in interviews and podcasts, but like short, Face to Face released "Ignorance is Bliss" in 1999, and in their documentary when they were on that tour, which was it sounded like hell, was their logo was what their fans were giving them.
Uh,
And now it's everybody's favorite. But if they had released that record in what, 2002, 2004,
yeah.
I would have been a smash fucking hit, you know?
Yeah. 1997.
Funny.
90s were different. 90s were different.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like 99 and they still got shit for it.
yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah. I
It's
just
so
like.
mind blowing. But anyway, like I feel like you're a trendsetter. Like it's like the Ramones. The Ramones were never they really didn't start making it until like almost in later like till after some of them had probably died.
Mhm.
They I mean, I'm not saying they didn't make it, but they didn't I don't think they were
They
doing what the
they didn't get that
Clash
much
was doing at
respect
the
as
end.
they do now. I mean, they.
Oh,
I
no.
mean,
They had to work for it.
yeah. And
Like they had to work
now,
for it
now
still
it's
for
like
a long time.
you're like you're like okay. For me, the Ramones. I mean, honestly, I listened to a lot, some of their stuff, but like not like a super fan. Like some people listen to
Yeah.
all their like they knew their A side to B side to but all the fucking songs they know everything, the deep
I'm a
cuts.
nerd for
Hey,
that.
nothing wrong with that. That's what you got to do as a musician. You want to stay on the hot point, but also you want to take some of the stuff you listen to and make it more relevant for today as well in your voice and in your style. And that's why I love music. I mean, honestly, you could listen to I I don't know. You could listen to so many different bands in different days of the week, and a lot of them are going to sound the same. A lot of them are going to be sounding overproduced. Some of them aren't. But it's all what you're listening into. You don't always have to like what you're listening to, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
someone else will. I mean, that's why bands tour. That's why people go to shows, and that's how our culture is. I mean, we go to shows, no matter
Yeah.
what artist they are. We may love them. We may find something new. I mean, that's why I went to Warped Tour as a kid. My first one, I was actually not really a kid.
Yeah.
2004 was Warped Tour. It was the first like, it was an eye opening thing. I was like, I want to be on tour. I want to do this. I want to be a part of this world somehow, and that's why I did this podcast. And uh, my first ever interviews with bands were actually two bands from Warped Tour that were independent bands, Army of Freshmen, and We're All Broken, which was from New Jersey. I don't know
Wow.
if you know ever heard of them. They were great. And then
Oh no.
Adair.
I wouldn't say I haven't.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I would say that I'm surprised when people our age or any age, especially as you get older, when they're like, "Oh, I'm so surprised when like I can't find good music. I don't get any new music anymore." And I'm always like, "Well, are you trying?" Because you have to go to a show. Sometimes you're going to be surprised by that band that doesn't have something on streaming yet. Find that young band that's like just got the spark. That's like I book at a club here, and it's like it's nice to see that. You see these like these young bands, but then you see the older bands that are coming through and the mid-tier bands, and they're still trying. And there's just a lot. I still search. Like, I mean, I wouldn't know about. I mean, they're not a band anymore, but like, and they were like 2016. But I wouldn't know about like a band like Dogs on Acid if I didn't like. Oh, let me check this. Like, let me check this recommendation. It's an amazing band, one band record.
Yeah.
Or there's just I'm always finding bands, and some stick and
And you
some
have to, I
don't.
mean, as a booker, as a booking,
And
as
I
a
still
venue,
listen to my old stuff
yeah,
too. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but
But
it's
as a
just
booker, you have to stay on point. You have to be like, what is gonna fill this room? What is the fans wanting here in this town? And will
yeah.
this work the routing for this band or that band or whatever, and what you're offered or whatever? And I see people like Vegas. Vegas is one of those towns where people want to come to, but they don't because they then learn if when they do, it's not as going to be as good as they think they are. But they know the horror stories from other bands, and they just had to have it their experience themselves. I've seen it happen with bands. I've seen it happen with shows out here, and it pisses me off because I know these. It's a different city. These kids are into different things, but I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, honestly, the big shows come to Vegas. The arena shows they sell out. I mean, honestly, you got Hardy on the Jim
I
Bob
got a
tour.
few
I
festivals
want to
booked.
ask you this as a joke. Did Hardy write Jim Bob about your Jim Bob? Just kidding.
I don't think
No,
so.
I just thought it'd be funny to ask. When you said Jim Bob, I'm like, I'm gonna just ask that question. Like,
We're always, yeah, dude. Him and I laugh, dude. Like JB and I, like be like Jim Bob, and he'll be like, "I'm from Kentucky, man." So,
uh,
but I mean, yeah, James Brown. I'd go by Jim Bob too.
yeah.
So,
Well, let's do this. Let's get to another song, and let's stop shooting the shit for now. If anyone has any questions in the chats, let us know. We'll get the questions read on air. If not, you guys can just sit back here to listen to Seth and I talk about random shit about music and all that. So let's do this. What other song on Modern Archaic do you want to play?
um, let's do oof, on the spot. Let's do organized sound.
All right, organized sound right here. It's sweet and short, but for you guys, 2 minutes and 41 seconds will feel like it never left you because this song is gonna rock your ears in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And right there, Organized Sound by Nowhere Fast. And we are back with Seth right now. Seth, another great tune off the record there. Definitely building up the story as we go along. Where are we at in this story with this song?
That's the song I put a character's name in for the first time. Nova's the character, and that's the fun thing. I have another character in some of the new songs, and Nova is the wrong side of the stress for the person. It's that side of the personality.
Okay. All
So
right. It's the awful side. All right. All right. We'll see where it goes in the continued writings of Seth right here, in these songs that we're gonna listen to in the near future, and so on and so forth with this band. I mean, that's what we're here to offer is a little insight to Nowhere Fast. And Seth, I know I you get this probably in every interview, but I would like to know, what are you currently listening into? What are some of the bands or artists that we should know about from Seth from Nowhere Fast?
well, I mean, last Friday, this artist needs no introduction. I've been listening to that new Jason Isbell and a lot because it's in 2025. He just puts out a stripped down acoustic album, no thrills, nothing else.
Okay, I
And
will
I
have to
think
listen to it.
that is that's rad. I mean, it's just like there's no polish, there's nothing. It's just uh, uh, it's a singer songwriter record from. It's just I love it. And then the new Propaganda single that dropped. Just prepping for the new Propaganda album, which is,
Right around the corner.
I think a lot of us have been waiting on. Yeah, May 1st. Super fan.
See?
And then, I've been listening to, I mean, I've always listened to him, but you get back on kicks of bands. I've been listening to Strung Out too,
Okay.
and they just remixed and mastered. And I haven't heard anything from it, but I saw they wrapped it up. Exile and Oblivion.
Ooh.
They're re-releasing that remixed and mastered, which is one of my favorite records they've done throughout the years, and I'm excited. So like I'm such a nerd. Like I'm like listening to the original now.
See, you're an
So
audiophile.
when the New
You're
York,
gonna love it because it's gonna be a little bit high deffer, a
well,
little
that
bit.
day and age, like some
Yeah.
stuff got buried. Some stuff got buried in the mix.
Yeah.
In certain records from that era. I think it was just, and it's fine. It was a great record when it came out, but man, today's technology is just so much better. Like the Beatles remasters they
Mm.
just put out
Yeah.
a couple years ago, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles sound like a modern band because they've just treated it so well. And like you're talking about, Revolver was what, 66, and this sounds like just a banging garage record
Yeah.
today, like rock and roll.
That's what you got to do.
So.
I mean, with some of the bands out there that were big in the day with their sound, and now like we can remaster it, and like, oh, McCartney would never have said no to that, and Ringo would never say no to that. George, I mean, if he was still alive, or John would be like, let's do it. It's a bloody good idea. You know, I mean, honestly, that was a bad John Lennon fucking tape.
No, I mean,
Whatever.
we're not
Uh,
a Liverpool.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not impersonating anybody. I'm not a comedian. I could be. Shit, I can tell jokes. I make my wife laugh. Shit, she just
I
laughs
could
at me because
be.
she loves me. Like, So
And I guess the other one would be Deep Sea Diver and Pine Grove. I've been listening to those bands
Pine
a lot.
Grove.
So
I know of Pine Grove. I believe. I think. I'll check my email. I
yeah,
think I got
they're
an email about
rad.
them. I think I did. Let me check. Let me check real quick. Because I think. Oh no, no. Am I thinking of the same band? Maybe. Let me check real quick. I'm
I don't know. I mean, they've kind of been on like a break. I know that.
No, it
Just
was
a
a
good
different. It
indie
was a
band
different
from
band.
up north.
It was a different band. No, oh no. Yeah, it was last year. 2 years they did a album live at Walmart. Do you have that?
I don't have a copy of it.
Oh,
No.
well, somebody should send him a copy. Someone should send him so you can be more super fans of groups. I mean, honestly, Propaganda. You got to be super fans of groups. That's why they succeed. Like all the super look Justin Bieber. He had super fans. Look at the boy groups. Look at all the boy groups from the '90s. They are still around because their fans are still around.
Propaganda is, but propaganda is like they're an inspiration because like they just their records keep getting better and better as they age, and like they just have these riffs where I'm like, I don't, how did you put that
Do
together?
you think Seth, they were born at the right time? Do you think maybe it's because they
Yes.
were born at the right time? They came together. They're they're a band. I don't know a lot about Propaganda, but I don't know how many like members they've gained or lost throughout the years. But maybe they just do it the right way. Maybe they had the secret formula.
There's one of my favorite eras of punk, and I can't really, and I know the old punk gods will kill me if I get it right, and I'm going to get it wrong because I guess I would say like from 86, and I was a kid, so I'm not going to know this, but to like 86 to like 92 or whatever, there was like this, you know, punk and indie and metal were starting to kind of, bands were just molding a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like Gandhi did like that heavy, hooky punk stuff. Like Strung Out did it really well too, actually. But it's or does it really well still. But it's just like Dag Nasty and all these bands were kind
Mm.
of fusing all this stuff together. And like, you know, these are bands I love too, you know. And if you dive on Descendants, especially the Descendants All album, like, you know, like Iceman and stuff, it's just like some cool heaviness to it, you know.
And
And
then
I
you had
think
bands like Dead
Propaganda, by the time
Kennedys
they came
and
along,
all these other bands that came along.
yeah, I like Dead Kennedys better today than I even did when I was a kid, because I listened to Minor Threat a while back too. Like I hadn't listened to that record in so long
See?
because it's like implanted in my brain from my
Hmm.
seniors. Um,
But that's a
but
good thing, because
Dead
then
Kennedys are so
you're
cool with
like
their
you're
guitar
when
tones. It's
it
just
comes to
so
trivia with a band like Minor Threat or anyone any bands that you listen to hardcore in depth, then you can be like, okay, this is what he said in this song, or this is what this song actually meant. You can pinpoint moments in your life where these songs come together for you, maybe at a live show, or maybe with a significant other, or maybe for a best friend that you're in a band together with, or anything like that. That's awesome. But go ahead, because you're like, yeah, it's stuck in my head. I'm like, who gives a fuck? It's a good thing. It's a good thing
Oh
that
yeah,
it's stuck
yeah,
in your head.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have songs stuck in my head that still like sing along to in the car and shit like that. That will have
Oh,
memories
yeah,
that
same.
pinpoint to it, and just like other stuff. But yeah, sorry, sorry to interrupt there. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just nerding out. Like, yeah, Dead Kennedys were awesome too. You know, I don't know how true this story is because, you know, it's not like I knew him in person, but I remember years ago we were on a really long tour and I was in San Francisco at a coffee shop laundromat venue. And the only other one I had ever known of like that was in Cincinnati. But
Hmm.
anyway, I had to play an acoustic set that night, so rhythm section had the night off. And after I got done playing, this older dude just came up and gave me a Heineken, and he goes, "Hey man, good set." And then later on, this photographer that was there, this beautiful older lady, she goes, "Do you know who that was? That's my boyfriend. That's Klaus from Dead Kennedys." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I don't know how true that was because I was just like, "All right," you know. I'd been on the road at like
Yeah.
I think we had already been out for like 25 days at that point, so I was like, everything was starting to blend together.
R.
But
Bullen,
it's a
thanks for joining in the
it's a cool
chat.
story to tell.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you you were like on tour, and you're like a random guy, random member of Dead Kennedys at my
I would have
show.
choose to believe it was Klaus.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it just it was cool. I mean, they watched the set, so it was really
yeah.
cool. You know,
That's
but
awesome. That it's kind of like you met someone you loved as
makes
a
a good
musician, and
story.
it makes a great story. It makes a great story to tell your kids when you show them Dead Kennedys when they grow up a little bit or whatever. But R. Bullen, thanks for joining us in the chat as well. Thanks for coming in. I know he was streaming a little bit ago. I was watching him play some baseball. Baseball season's ready. It's summertime, baby.
Uh-oh.
It's heating up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, everything's
I'm
heating
ready
up.
for I'm ready for baseball season.
Yeah, who's your
I'm
team?
ready.
Who's your team?
Oh, Braves.
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 Braves. Well,
Yeah.
our Bolin's from right there in Cincinnati. He's a Reds fan. So, I mean,
I'm sure.
you
I'm
know,
sure.
two different teams, two different
Yeah.
caliber teams and histories. But yeah, so let's do this. Let's go to one last song, and I'm gonna give you this question to think
Okay.
about while we play the song. And it kind of goes back to what we were
Okay.
talking about, what music you're listening to, but also you can throw in anything you want to. I mean, honestly, it could be a random band, but like, okay, I want to see this band do this. So the question is, if you could take this song that you're choosing to play, whatever song it is, and give it to any other band or artist in any style and genre of music, what band or artist would you want to see take that song and make it their own? And then what song of theirs do you want to take and make into a Nowhere Fast song? Think about that.
Oh,
Think about
wow.
that. I know it's a loaded question, but it's also a fun one.
Yeah. Holy crap.
It's my
Well, I'm not gonna
question I
pick.
came up with years ago. I've been doing this for God knows how long. 15 years, I think.
Good question. It's a really good question. The song I want to pick, I'm not gonna
17,
pick
actually.
because it's acoustic. So I'm gonna go with we'll go to another song. Hmm, man, that's good.
Well, we
Um,
can play both songs so I can give you.
let's you can play them. That is, man, your question's insanely hard. That's great. This is one of the best questions I've ever had.
Well, thank you,
Um,
Seth. I'm sorry to end
let's
with it,
play
but it's
play
my
Scaring Majesties.
it's my show ender. You gotta always have a show ender to
Yes, so
wrap
good.
something up, you know.
No, I tried to prep for and I just forgot. I'm an idiot. I was gonna try and pull one on you. Let's do Buffalo
Buffalo
and
first.
then
Oh, did we lose them? Hold on.
no,
Okay.
no, you didn't.
All
No,
right.
no, that's Buffalo and Birmingham. That's what I do.
Buffalo and Birmingham. Okay, well, real quick though. Open Mic Network says JR with the hard hitting questions. That is correct. I have the hard hitting questions, Mike. I hope you've been enjoying the interview. I know you've been probably lurking. You've been busy setting up and getting ready for more WWE 2K25 streams, so that should be
Uh,
fun. I'm a big wrestling fan too. I'm going to see AEW on Saturday at my job
I'm
here
sick.
in
Okay.
Vegas. So, yeah, music, wrestling, sports. It's all me. That's what makes me. But let's get to the songs here. Buffalo first, and then Birmingham. Correct?
Sure.
Okay. So here we go. Buffalo by the boys in Nowhere Fast off of Modern Archaic, and then after that we'll be playing Birmingham as well to give him more time to think about it. So 8 minutes, we'll be gone, hanging out. If you guys want to talk in the chat, let us know questions that you may have to wrap it up as well. So here we go. Enjoy. we are back. That was Birmingham, and before that was Buffalo by Nowhere Fast Music. Well, Nowhere Fast Music it says on the name, but it's Nowhere Fast. Off their album Modern Archaic, and we are back with Seth. Seth, man, oh man, like when you listen to music and you're hanging out with the artist, you listen to it differently. And when you're hanging out, listen to it to pinpoint where this artist is going. And you're having the artist in front of you right now. Now you figure out what's going on with these songs. What is Birmingham? You can tell. I can tell. And I think Buffalo has that feel of a Dylan song, but also I don't know what it's about. I know it's probably about the city of Buffalo, but why the city of Buffalo to you? Like what?
Actually, it's not about Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
The city. It's I called it Buffalo after the American Buffalo,
Okay.
and the opening lyrics to that song are my take on it's like it seems today, like it's the whole opening line, like our daily feast, all that. It's the media, it's the shite that we're just given every day that drives most of us mad, annoys most of us, and then some of us like it's our life, and it's a sad life to me if that is, but it's gnarly, and we're seeing it on play right
Can I
now.
say
We're seeing
this?
it on play right now.
Can I say this right now? I said this, and I said this before the election last year. I told my wife this. I told other people this. If he gets elected president again, I'm just gonna sit back and watch the world crumble because it's gonna happen. Something's gonna go wrong, and it's going wrong, and you guys are seeing it all happen. And I'm sorry, I hate talking about it because it's just like I called it. I called it. I said it, and no one who were following his lead were like.
He didn't deny anything. He said he's doing everything he literally said he was going to do,
Yeah.
and more.
He's taking down the government. He's bringing Elon Musk, and he brought in Linda McMahon for the Department of Education, and then he wanted to destroy the Department of Education. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
I know.
Like, just
It's
fucking, what's funny though is after this interview, I'm going to do my taxes with my wife here in a little bit here. So hopefully the government gives me more money. I'm sorry. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. It just sucks. It's just fucking a perpetual circle.
I'm sorry. Can I get some of what you owe me?
Yeah. Some.
Can
I think honestly, you know what? I think we as a culture just need to say money doesn't mean anything and just give everything to everybody. Like fucking here, $1 million to everybody. We're all millionaires.
Yeah. It's possible in some sense. I mean,
but what if we do that? What if we
how
do
much
that?
was bought? Look how much he paid for this election.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like give it to everybody. Like everybody just gives like, and I hate it. Like it's just like we were talking about it, and it's like I'm like, hey, yeah, like these elections are a popularity contest, and people just feed money into it, and then you see the commercials, and it's just like fuck you November, in 4 years, every 4 years, fuck you November. I hate it. I hate like turning on my TV. Every ad on Hulu or Netflix or anywhere is a damn ad, and it's just like, why?
Right.
Like, let me vote who I want to vote for. Don't tell me this person's evil and this person's evil because of this person being evil.
So I thought about that too. Like, I'm like, man, do most sensible people even listen to the ads? Like, it's not true, half of it.
Yeah.
So, like, does anybody really, like, I feel like, I know some people do, which if anybody on here is just paying attention to the ads, I don't mean this in a mean way. Just don't. Just research, read on who you're voting for.
I do have a question for the chat. Does anyone have a question? I know R. Bullen and Open Mic, you're listening in. Anyone else that is watching us right now, thank you for watching us as well on the YouTube. I see the YouTube chat, but no one really watches us live there. The algorithm sucks there. They all watch the video later. But for anyone out there, if you have any questions for Seth right now, please let us know. We're gonna wrap it up here shortly. I know I'm taking a lot of his time. I know he has to get back to practice
Bye.
and everything. But I appreciate everybody for being here. But Seth, real quick, before anyone has any questions, let's get my question answered. So you're gonna take Buffalo, right? You want Buffalo as the or do you want? Well, yeah, because you said the other one was a acoustic song, and Birmingham was a great song. It definitely has a story of its past, how Birmingham was and still is. I mean, honestly, that whole part of the country still locked into a scenario where they're like, oh, this is the way it should be. No, we're all human beings, no matter what skin color we are. Fuck racism, fuck sexist, fuck ageisms, fuck everything. Fuck all that.
I got some friends. I got some friends in Alabama, and I've seen their posts, and they're just like, "So are we just gonna pretend that we're not seeing this around town, like just KKK flyers?"
Yeah.
And like all my friends down there with sense are like, "Are we gonna pretend that this isn't happening right now?"
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Nobody sees this.
Ridiculous. It's just like, why? Why do we still have that?
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
This is what we're the divided states of America. I've said it. I've said it again on this show because it's the goddamn truth. We're not united. We're not all for the common fucking good. We're all for the big dogs.
No.
All the big
That's the
dogs
sad part.
are holding us back, and they're we're not gonna give anybody money. We're gonna.
We should wanna help one another, and I know it sounds hippie to everybody, but be kind and let's just help each other live and have a life.
All right, so let's take Buffalo. Who do you want to give that to? And what song of theirs would you want to do? I gave you 8 minutes and even more because you were processing an easier question, and we were just yabbing on about how the government's all fucked up. We all know that. We all know that for the 4 people watching. But you know,
We're all there, man.
yeah, we're all there.
We're all there.
We're all there. The healthcare system's broke. How are we gonna fix everything? We're not, because it's a broken system before we even were born.
I actually have 2 bands that I would do like I would either want War on Drugs to cover Buffalo, and I would do Pain. I would love for us to do Pain by them. And then because it's such a gorgeous song.
Well, you have band practice here tonight or soon, sometime soon.
I might take me a while to dive into his layers of of beautiful tones.
Yeah.
That band has got.
Put your touch to it. That's it. That's all you got to do.
It's true.
That's what you're doing.
The other band that
they're putting Buffalo in their style, so you're just putting Pain in your style. So
that's true. That's true.
That was the question. Before you get the other band, we did have a comment. Nuke 2028 end it all. That's what Spartan Fan said. So, I'm sorry, but that's what he said. Not me. Just relaying the message to everybody out there who did not see the chat, which is everybody watching this in the archive. But, Seth, your second band would be what?
I have 2 bands for Buffalo.
Yeah.
No Motive.
Okay.
No Motive would be, like, I think they would just, oh man, I don't know. They're just a killer band. And I would probably want to do Broken and Burned by them. So,
all right. I've seen the name. I've seen the name, but I've never listened to them. So what I'm gonna do is right now go to my Spotify.
Killer band from Oxnard.
And well, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so probably never like listened to them back in Pennsylvania. You know, for no reason. I don't know why. So what is the song called? You said real quick.
Broken and Burned by them is what I would do.
What album is that on?
It's on Diagram for Healing.
Diagram for Healing. Okay, I got it right.
And that
here.
was a quick pick. That was a quick pick.
It was a quick pick. You already knew the answers. You already knew the answers.
Well, it's a quick pick for like because there's so many No Motive songs I would cover. There's a lot of War on Drugs songs I would cover.
Well, if you have time in your head after you write this next album or EP or whatever the hell the plan is for the foreseeable future while you're doing the day job, family life, and everything that comes through your head as a singer songwriter and as a genius, because you have to be a genius to write songs. I mean, honestly, you got to remember them, you got to play them, and you're on a high different level wave than half these people out there that you know aren't singers or songwriters, but they're doing other jobs that require intelligence and all that nature that we all have in one shape or form. But before we go ahead. I know everyone's just listening in, me babble on. But go ahead and tell where they can find you guys on the World Wide Web. Where can they pick up the record? Where can they listen to it? And anything else you want to say to the fans and listeners out there?
Uh, it, the people, the modern archaic, we've been surprised on the like playback or in the feedback. It's thank you all to whoever's listening, and thank you to anybody who supports us. And we know we have some fans that are a fan of more of this style or more of that style that we do, but we're gonna try and give the love to everybody all the time. And we're gonna, kind of keep doing what we like to do too, to keep us from not being bored. But we will still deliver all angles, and we appreciate the support. You can find us at nowherefastmusic.com or Linktree, / Nowhere Fast Music. And that is the bane of our existence, but we do the Nowhere Fast Music to separate us from the norm. So, but it's also that's a burden too, because people are like, "Oh, you're Nowhere Fast Music." Like, no, we're just Nowhere Fast.
Yeah.
Like, we're just ripping off the '90s when the early 2000s when all this stuff was starting to become a headache, And our band name's not the most, Don't take it from a Smiths song, people. The Smiths.
Or make it as a cover band name, like the one band is that if you look up Nowhere Fast on YouTube, it's like,
oh, it's a Smiths cover band.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, and just like it's just like, wow, no, that's not it. I don't want to. I mean, I could talk to cover band members, but I don't know what would I do. I mean, we're just gonna talk about Smiths and get their take on what Smiths is the hottest, and then have Smiths fans call in and disagree the entire show. I don't know if I could do that. That would be interesting. I don't know how many beers deep I'd be in a show like that. But Seth, you have a great rest of your night. Everybody who's listening in, thank you guys for listening in and tuning in. Go pick up their record, Modern Archaic, available now on the Spotify, wherever the records are sold. Just type it in, you can find them, or Nowhere Fast Music in the Google, and it will pop up. But right now, let me see who's live. Let me see who's live so we can raid somebody on the Facebook. Not on the Facebook. Let's see. We're gonna raid somebody, and I'm holding up. Let's go. You know what? Let's go to Nasty Natty Game, and they're playing a little NCAA football, and they're playing with, I think, Ball State. They're playing Buffalo right now, so we're gonna go over there. But everybody, thank you for tuning in, and Seth, you have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Hey, you too. Thank you all.
Yep, no
Bye.
problem. And everybody, we're gonna raid out here right now. Yeah. So see you guys all.